Welcome to Idiot's Diary. This is a C programming tutorial series. In the last video, we have already discussed the operators in C, and today we will continue our discussion with the more operators in C. At first, we will discuss about the increment and decrement operator. These operators are available in two flavors. First is called the prefix. If plus plus appears before the operand, then it is called the prefix version, and if plus plus appears after the operand, then it is called the postfix version. The similar we will say in the decrement operator. To understand more about the prefix and postfix operators, we will discuss an example. To work with the increment and decrement operator, first we create a variable integer a equals to 5 and then put the pre-increment operator with the a and try to print the output printf %d, a. Compile and run the program to get the output. Here we get the output is 6. As we see that the a is incremented by 1. Actually plus plus a work as a is equals to a plus 1. So we get the output a is equals to 6. To work with the post increment, just change the pre-increment operator with the post increment and try to compile and run the program to get the output. As you see that the output of post increment is also 6. So you can see that the pre-increment and post increment means plus plus a and a plus plus works similarly. Here one thing should be noted is that pre-increment and post increment work similarly if they are work in isolation or independently. So what's the difference between the prefix and postfix flavor, we will discuss in the next example. In this example, we first create a variable a and b, then store the value 5 into a and then b equal to plus plus a. Now we want to find out the result of a and b by using the printf. To view the output, compile and run the program. As you see that the value of a and b will be 6 and 6. This happens because in this expression first a gets incremented becomes 6 and the result of this expression is moved to the b that again becomes 6, so we get the output 6 and 6. You can understand the result in one more way, that first a is equals to a plus 1 is performed and then the result of a will be stored into b. So first a becomes 6 and then this result is moved to the b. To see the effect with the post increment operator, let's change the pre-increment with the post increment and compile and run the program to view the output. Here you see that the value of a becomes 6 and the value of b is 5. This happens because first the value of a gets stored into b and then a is incremented. One more way you can understand like this, that first the value of a is moved to the b and then a is incremented. So as you see, the current value of a gets stored into b, that is 5, and then a is incremented by 1 become 6. So the result is printed 6 and 5. Move to the next program. In this program we create a variable a, b and c. First we store the value 5 into a, 6 into b and then write the expression c is equals to plus plus a multiplied by plus plus b. To get the output, we print the value of a, b, c by using printf statement. To view the result, compile and run the program. Here you see that the result of a is 6, b is 7 and c is 42. The conclusion of this program is very simple because first a gets incremented becomes 6, b gets incremented becomes 7, 6 into 7 it becomes 42 stored into c, so a will be 6, b will be 7 and c will be 42. To view the effect with the post increment, just change the pre increment operator with the post increment. To view the output, compile and run the program. As you see that the result of A is 6, B is 7 and C becomes 30. This happens because here first the value of A is used in this expression, that is 5, the value of B is used in this expression, that is 6, and then multiply is performed, that is 5 into 6 and stored into C, and C becomes 30. Then moving to the next line, the A gets incremented, becomes 6, and B gets incremented, becomes 7, and then the output gets printed, that is 6, 7 and 30. Let's take one more example which demonstrate the decrement operator also. Start by creating three variables A, B, C. Store 5 in A, 6 in B, and then create expression plus plus A multiply B minus minus, and try to print the output by using the printf statement %d %d comma A comma B comma C. Compile and run the program to view the output. Here you see that the result of A is 6, B is 5 and C is 36. This happens because in this expression first A gets incremented, becomes 6, and the value of B is used in this expression, that is 6. 6 into 6 becomes 36 and stored into C, and before moving to the next line B is decremented and becomes 5. So A is 6, B is 5 and C is 36. Let's move to the next but little complex example. In this example, first we create two variables A and B, then store 5 in A, and then create an expression B equal to plus plus A multiply by plus plus A, and try to find the output by printing the value of A and B. To get the output, compile and run the program. As you see that the output of this program is 7 and 49. Here 7 is the value of A and 49 is the value of B. But how this happens we will see here. In this expression first A gets incremented and becomes 6, and then again A gets incremented and becomes 7. So 6 into 7 should be 42 stored into B, so the final output should be 7 and 42. On some compiler the output 742 is okay, but on the other hand on some compiler this output is not matched, as you see in the last output screen. But how 49 comes on the last output screen? Try to understand the fact that in this example first A gets incremented becomes 6, and then again A gets incremented becomes 7. On some compiler, if the value of a variable is changed in an expression, then the previous value of the variable is also changed. So in this example, when second time increments happens, the A becomes 7 and the previous A also becomes 7, and 7 into 7 become 49, that is stored into B, and the output occurs 749. But what happens if we extend this expression by adding one more increment operator with this expression, that is plus plus A? We change the value of A by 3, so we can calculate this expression easily. Here in this example first A gets incremented, become 4, then A gets incremented, become 5, and then A gets incremented, becomes 6. On some compiler the output will be 4 into 5 into 6. But what happens with some other compiler which change the value of all the previous A when the last A gets incremented? On that compiler first A gets incremented, become 4, then A gets incremented, become 5, then A gets incremented, becomes 6. So the output should be 6 into 6 into 6, that is 216, and A should be 6. Try to run the program to check your output. As you see that the output is 6 and 150. Now what happens in this program? That output is 150. So understand this output, that in this example first the expression plus plus A multiplied by plus plus A gets calculated as given in the previous rule. So first plus plus A gets incremented, becomes 4, and then again plus plus A gets incremented, become 5. The last a gets changed, become 5, so the previous a also becomes 5. 5 into 5 becomes 25, and then next a gets incremented, becomes 6, and multiply with the output of the previous expression, that is 25. So 25 into 6 becomes 150, that is stored into B. If you extend this expression by adding more increment operator, you can calculate the output by using this bracket rule. As you see in the previous examples, the output of the increment and decrement operator can vary from compiler to compiler in some situations. In the next video, we will discuss about relational operator, logical operator and comma operator. Thank you for watching this video. Keep watching, keep learning.